My name is Neyfi Del Rosario and I am a holistic nutritionist here in New York City, and in this channel I discuss everything about nutrition, fitness and exercise that'll help you melt that fat off, and if you're into that, please consider subscribing. So I've been running the Sensah Empire Pro with the oversized pulley for a little bit, enough to give you a review and to tell you what's wrong and what's right about it and all the differences between the regular Pro and this one. So let's get started and let me show you all of the parts and all of the things I have on my bike right here. Alright, let's get started. One of the most important parts of the bike, that will be the rear derailleur. As you can see, if it catches the light right, it is carbon fiber, and the size of this pulley right here is 19 teeth, and then the size of the little pulley right here is 7 teeth, right? So on the regular Sensah Empire Pro, the little one here will be 11 and the big one here would be 14, right? How do I know that? Because when I make my regular review, I actually change the pulleys for ceramic bearings, right? So one thing that you need to keep in mind is that these ceramic bearings on these pulleys are open, right? If you saw someone like Trace Bellow's video, he actually replaced the bearings on this, because if you don't keep up with your maintenance and if you don't wash your bike or you don't clean your bike, they'll get really dirty, and then these wheels will lose their purpose or the ability of being really loose and being really nice, because they're ceramic but they're not covered. All right, so if you want to take it apart and change the bearings, you're more than free to do so. All right, one thing I noticed is like it's really smooth, right? It feels smoother than the regular Sensah Empire Pro. As you can see, I'm barely pushing on the pedals and it goes back and it wants to keep going, right? It's very smooth, very easy to pedal compared to the regular Sensah Empire Pro. So one thing that I figured out about this rear derailleur is that if you have the regular Sensah Empire Pro, you cannot buy this arm. You cannot buy the Ligma arm on its own, right? So the only way to modify or to get this Sensah Empire Pro with the oversized pulley like this is to buy it from Amazon or from AliExpress, right? And like I said before, I'm gonna leave a link down in the description, so if you guys are interested in buying it, you guys can go ahead and get it. But this is the only way to get it. You can get this oversized pulley for the 105. There's an option to take it off, you just have to buy it that way. All right, so as you can see, I do not have the Sensah Empire Pro front derailleur on it because I don't like it. I don't like the Sensah's front derailleur. Why? Because take for example, this is a 105. The spring tension, this 105 is very loose, right? It's very easy to move, but the tension on the spring on this front derailleur is very hard. It's very hard to move. It's very hard to operate with the Sensah Empire Pro's levers, right? So I found another problem. So you see this bolt right here on the Sensah Empire Pro, you can strip. So as you can see here on the front derailleur on the Sensah Empire Pro is all messed up because I tried to tighten the cable, but the bolts, these bolts right here, they can strip if you over tighten them. Not the top, but like the actual strip of the bolt, it can strip, right? So I have more, I have 2 of these, but keep in mind, if you're trying to tighten this bolt with the Sensah Empire Pro bolt, is gonna strip, because I stripped this one and I'd rather use a 105 because it's higher quality, it's better made than this one. They have to fix this problem. So if you ever strip one, it's not really your fault. It's just these bolts are really soft metal. So now you're looking at the Sensah Empire Pro levers, right? So I found that these operate the same way as the regular Sensah Empire Pro. It doesn't matter if it's the oversized pulley or the regular pulley, but I found a difference. So some people think there are 2 versions of this type of levers. The first one that break off, and then the ones that have the metal part in it. This will have the metal part in it, but the difference is that the spring on this is loose than the other ones I had. I'm gonna show you in a second. So it doesn't have the stop, the metal stop that when you brake, you can still shift, right? I don't know why would you want that, but if you're metal, you can still shift, right? I'm not sure why would you wanna do that, but I'm gonna show you now with the other versions. So here are the older versions, right? So on the older version, I literally took them off because I crashed and I almost broke the left one. But if you brake, you cannot shift. So if you brake with the old ones, you cannot push the lever. It doesn't matter how hard you try to push this lever, it's not gonna shift. It's only gonna shift when you are not braking. But if you try to brake, it has this metal piece underneath. You see that metal piece, right? That if you brake, it's gonna prevent you from moving, right? It's gonna prevent you from moving. This one doesn't have the metal piece. So if you brake, right? Let's say I'm braking, you can still move the lever, right? So there are three versions. There are the ones with a plastic piece inside, the one that let you shift while you're braking, and the one that doesn't let you shift while they're braking, right? So one difference between this one and that one, even though they both have the metal piece, this one feels stiffer. It feels better to shift. This one is too loose for my liking, and I only replaced it because I wanted to look nice and I didn't want something that's like scratched up because I crashed with it. So that is one of the big differences that I found. There are actually three versions of the shifters, and you gotta be careful which one you buy, and you gotta be really specific for the ones that you're gonna get when you're buying it. So ask your seller which one you're getting, which one they're selling you, right? And again, you can get this in carbon fiber or in aluminum. As you guys saw, that is the Sensah Empire Pro oversized pulley, and if you guys want to get it, it's down in the description to Amazon. That's where I got it because this came from China. It also took around 2 weeks to get it. So make sure you buy it on time. If you're planning to buy a new derailleur or buy parts for the Sensah Empire Pro, you need them quickly. Buy them as soon as possible. So I'm gonna leave a link down in the description. That's also gonna help out the channel because it's an affiliate link, right? So subscribe to the channel because I'll be able to afford more Chinese parts that I can show you. I could be, you know, showing you the good quality parts, and I feel like Sensah Empire Pro is really good quality, especially the oversized pulley. But I have a problem with the oversized pulley. Most oversized pulley, it claims that it's gonna save you watts, right? So most people buy it because it's gonna save you watts, maybe 5, maybe 10, maybe 30 watts. That sounds like a lot. But you gotta keep in mind that the oversized pulley is heavier, right? It's heavier and it's less aerodynamic because it's bigger. The Sensah Empire Pro, the regular, is smaller and it's lighter. So the watts that you save with the big oversized pulley, you lose them on the air drag because it's less aerodynamic, and you also lose it on the weight because it's bigger. So if you are concerned about the weight and about aerodynamics, get the small one because it's not gonna be a difference. I literally see no difference. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and the subscribe button, notification bell, because I'll be making more videos like this to inspire you to become the healthiest version of yourself.